It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning. I am Philip Simon II, TGIF.
It is certainly a pleasure to be back in your company this Friday, hoping that you guys had a wonderful week.
Had a great week, long week, productive week, and it's Friday.
He had one of those weeks, guys, based on that response. But no, before we started the show, Phil, you and I were talking kind of just about this need for us to just continue to give to our community and to work harder.
Yeah.
I've seen some changes.
I mean, definitely. I mean, we've got some programs on the show today that aim to do that. But, you know, again, I mean, I'm trying to start your morning in a negative type of way, but it's the stories, man. It's the stories. You know, social media is one thing, but the actuality of what's happening on our streets, particularly with our young children. I mean, these fights. I mean, the girls, Godfrey, they're going at it like guys would do it, and the people are just recording. You know, they're standing by, they're watching. Nobody's doing anything. We need to have let's start a new challenge. Let's call it a Good Kid Challenge or the Good Child Challenge. Can we have some winners, please?
No, man, there are lots of winners. There are lots of winners. You and I know. We see all of those winners come on the show all the time.
But what happens is, you know, so it's like negative things make the news the most, right? And it gets all the emphasis. So yes, there are tons of things that are happening that are positive, that are great. Let's post those.
Yeah, right? Yeah, agreed. And so I think what we need to look at is how are we using our cell phones to create and send stories, and why is it that we're so attracted to violence, to negativity, and to anger? What are the unsettled issues that we need to be dealing with in terms of shifting our own mindsets and dealing with our internal issues that are causing us to want to spread that type of negativity? I think that's an important conversation for a later date.
Very much so.
But guess what? We're elevated for a nomination. Well, nominated for an Elevation Award.
That's right.
Nominated for an Elevation Award. The Elevation Awards happen tomorrow. So, of course, we hope that you guys will be sending us all of those positive vibrations, praying for us and giving us good luck as we step up to see whether or not we will win in a very serious category, facing off against Rodney Munker, Clint Watson, and some others.
We got that. We got that.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens there. We've got a great show lined up for you, though.
Yeah, great show. Junior Achievement is in the house, so very pleased to have them here. Diane Phillips is actually joining us today as well. There's a cookbook that's being launched, the first of its kind, really, for Junior Achievement. So very excited about that. Urca is also here to discuss their upcoming town hall meeting. They've, of course, been on the show consistently talking about that. And this is Child Protection Month, and we'll be discussing and digging a little bit deeper into that in our Bridging the Gap segment. Child protection. Boy, anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, and all that is a part of it. All of that is a part of it, right? But we've got, of course, in addition to that, we're talking and announcing for the first time the airport, Arawak Port Development, that is, their inaugural Maritime Festival. So we're going to be learning more about that. Should be some really exciting stuff happening there, so we're looking forward to that. And I was away last week, as you might remember. I was in Jamaica at...
I remember. You weren't here.
I know. I promise this for a good cause. At the Canada and Caribbean Emerging Leaders Dialogue, an excellent opportunity to attend and be with some of the region's best leaders, learning so many things. And I brought two of my fellow Bahamians that traveled with me to that conference, to the show this morning. So we're going to be talking about that, what we've seen, what you guys ought to be preparing yourself for based on what we've learned. It's really going to be a good conversation. And of course, we never can go without the Alive Weekend calendar. So we got all of that ahead for you and so much more. But first, we're going to take a first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Looking good, G.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather, sunrise, a dissipating frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas will trigger up pockets of showers, and you also have a trough across the southeastern islands, may go on Turks and Caicos. That too will trigger some showers. The middle part of the islands of central Bahamas look pretty good for today, but for the most part, you can expect some showers to the northwest and southeastern islands. In your weather today, a mix of sun and clouds, a bit breezy and warm, and you can expect a few showers, high temperature reaching 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild conditions, the chance of a few showers, a low temperature going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 80 and 74, in Jamaica 79 and 68, in Trinidad 87 and 73, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 83 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta 73 and 57, in Raleigh 65 and 52, in Miami 81 and 72, Dallas, Texas 79 and 62, and Toronto, Canada 38 and 30. Extended look, expect some more pockets of clouds tomorrow with some couple of showers. Wouldn't be on the red crossfire, I don't think, but we'll have a couple of showers just before that. Then by Sunday into Tuesday, expect pretty good weather. Another frontal boundary moves near the extreme northwest parts on Wednesday, and that will cause some increasing cloudiness. Low temperature daytime through the weekend will be in the mid 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the upper 60s to lower 70s. That puts you up in your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, I'm so happy this morning to be bringing this next segment to you. Those of you who might be familiar with Junior Achievement, Phil and I talk about it all the time. The country's top youth organization dedicated to so many things to build a great economy in the long run, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and of course, teamwork, collaboration, and leadership. Well, they have been celebrating 40 years in the Bahamas this coming year, and as a result of that, they decided to do something extra special. They put together a savory, first of its kind cookbook, and here to give us all the details, we're very happy to welcome Erica Morris. She's the fundraising and scholarship coordinator for JA Bahamas, responsible for sending so many of our young people off to university. Good to see you, Erica.
Nice seeing you as well.
And we've got Catherine Reese. She's the sales coordinator from Oasis Furniture. Good to see you, Catherine.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, thanks. And then Diane Phillips, who we all know very well from Diane Phillips and Associates. A pleasure to have you with us as well.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have Junior Achievement in the house, and today it's exciting because we're talking food, and I love food, so that's good stuff. Erica, this is 40 years for JA. Talk to me about the idea for this cookbook and why you chose that as a way of celebrating 40 years.
Okay, well, we all know that we're a nonprofit organization, and we wanted to come up with something a little bit, different as a way of raising money.
Okay.
And of course, I was like, okay, what can we do? What can we do a little different? I was like, let's do a cookbook. Trust me, a lot of people like a cookbook. I'm like, trust me, it'll work. And it was so much fun getting, recipes, calling different people. I was like, I don't cook. Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I have this wonderful recipe. So it was so much fun putting it together, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different than what everyone else is doing,
Okay.
So I was like, let's do a cookbook, and, it's been received very well.
All right, and you kind of talked about talking to different people. So you guys reached out to past achievers, current achievers?
We reached out to past achievers, current achievers. We have tastemakers, trendsetters, politicians, ex-politicians, chefs, entertainers. We have Solo, we have Stalit, we have everyone in the book.
Okay, so that's exciting. So in addition to it being like a cookbook, it's actually like a cultural book, right? Because you bring in all these people from all these walks of life.
Exactly. It's not a Bahamian cookbook, okay, because we just don't have Bahamians living here. So we have Haitian recipes, we have Italian recipes. Of course, we have some Bahamian recipes, and we just have some things that people like, I'd like to make this little dish at home.
Okay.
And we have some traditional ones, like we had a young lady, a past chief, who actually made a cup.
Okay.
This is cup season coming, and not everybody can make a cup.
Okay.
But she gave you the right directions on how to.
How to make a cup to keep you cool in the summer.
Exactly.
And I've also heard about the sexy shrimp and guava butter sauce, and the coconut and calic soup.
Yes.
So people can really get something very valuable from this. Why was Oasis Furniture excited to be involved with this initiative?
Well, we were super excited to be involved with the initiative because we would like to team up to help the youth. So, you know, I think cooking is an integral part of the society, and I think that the home begins in the kitchen.
Nice.
So bringing everybody together and then having Oasis a part of it is just a great honor.
Yeah, no, it really is, right? And I think about so many of the amazing things that happen as you're cooking and the time that you're taking to make things happen, the conversations that happen around food. So this is actually a really good concept, as you say, for Oasis to help the youth. And Diane, you've been involved in our society in so many amazing ways in getting public relations from communities to people and connecting us all. Why are you involved in this process, and how have you been helping?
Well, I think the word that you use, connecting, is exactly the right one, because Erica came to me first and said, I'd love for you to contribute a recipe, and before I knew it, I was contributing the location, which is Oasis, is our daughter's store in Sandyport, which is absolutely beautiful. We've had several book launches there before. They've been tremendously successful sellouts.
Okay.
So you have how many, 2,000 of these to sell?
2,000 of these to sell. We've already had people place their orders.
Okay.
And so the launch is tomorrow afternoon at Oasis in Sandyport, which is located, in case there's anybody out there who doesn't know, the most beautiful store in Nassau for furniture, home decor, gifts, jewelry, everything. Okay. It's underneath Club One in Sandyport.
I've seen it.
So from 2 to 5 tomorrow afternoon, and many of the people who've contributed recipes will be on hand. So we're looking forward to seeing people like Loretta Butler Turner and Marie Jose Navarro, and I don't know how many politicians contributed.
Richard Lightbourne. We have so many people that's in the
Chester
book.
Cooper was a contributor, but he won't be there tomorrow.
Won't be there.
He's
Yeah.
off.
Frankie
And
Campbell.
Frankie Campbell.
Yes.
Oh, Lanisha Roll.
Lanisha Roll is there.
Okay.
Clay Sweeting, and his hamburger is amazing.
Okay.
I tried it myself, his stuffed hamburger.
That's I'm really excited about this, because I don't think we think of cookbooks that way, but I love that you've been able to bring this mix of people together to really create this space.
And one of the most interesting recipes came from Elaine Pinder, who of course is the queen of fast food and fine food all in one, because she is the owner and proprietor of all the Bamboo Shacks, now expanded to Miami, and also Sapadilla and Frankie Gone Bananas. So she has a couple of her favorite recipes in there. And I love the idea that all of these people have contributed recipes that mean something to them, because the home is so important. And we think, oh, we'll just go online and find out how to make something, even how to make the perfect boiled egg. But when you look at a cookbook like this, and you realize that friends of yours and people you know those recipes, and it gives you an idea for what to cook, not just how to make it.
Yeah, and the love that's in it, right? Because I always, whenever I go and I get like a coffee, then I say, now make it with love, and you can tell that if somebody gave you this recipe, there's love there, and that's a beautiful thing. When else is Oasis Furniture open? Obviously, we can come in tomorrow for the book launch, and that's going to happen from 2 to 5, Saturday 2 to 5, Sandyport. But what are your other hours?
So our other hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the weekdays. So Monday to Friday, come in and get your beautiful furniture pieces. And then on Saturdays, we open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. And it's not just furniture, right? You've got like cool little like niche things that you wouldn't find elsewhere. Little jewelry pieces and...
Well, the proprietor, Brooke Phillips, Brooke Phillips Pyfrom. I have to get used to that now. She just got married a couple of weeks ago. So she's actually spending her honeymoon sourcing new places, new craftsmen, new vendors. And what she'll do is she'll ride a mule up into a remote village in Vietnam, find someone who carves or something, and then start commissioning work from that. And so she's always looking for new pieces. And in the last few weeks, she has been to Indonesia, Bali, Sri Lanka, and Thailand.
Oh yeah, so she's going to get some great stuff there. And of course, they won't be in store tomorrow, but you can always go back later and see what's in store tomorrow as you come to purchase the cookbook. How much is it, Erica?
The cookbook is $20.
Okay.
Yes.
$20 is a small fee to pay
Exactly.
to help an organization like Jay to continue to thrive and to have all this loving sitting on your shelf in a beautiful cover that says Achieving the Vision, 40 Years of Jay.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bringing some excitement to me this morning. Y'all know I love the kitchen. Well, let's rephrase that. I love the food that comes out of the kitchen. And just happy to see this vision come to life. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And we hope to see you tomorrow.
I'm going to try my best to be there because I need to get my cookbook.
Contributor for the book next time.
Next time. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Just had a wonderful conversation with Junior Achievement. Remember that you can continue to support them by coming out to Sandyport tomorrow, the Oasis Furniture Store, from 2 to 5 p.m. Get this amazing cookbook, only $20, and of course you're contributing to a cause that saves lives and sends our children off to school. We're going to be back with more after this commercial break.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
but it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to the show. April, of course, is Child Protection Month. Here in the Bahamas, we've been observing it annually since 1992. In this edition of the Bridging the Gap segment, Ms. Shauna Lee Lewis, Senior Welfare Officer of the Child Protection Unit in the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, is here to talk a little bit more about that particular unit and, of course, Child Protection Month. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome
and
back.
It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning.
Right, thank you. The Child Protection, let's just talk about that for a second. The Child Protection Unit, we've been observing this month since 1992, but the Child Protection Unit has been around even prior to that.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about the unit itself.
Well, the Child Protection Unit carries out child safety assessments.
Okay.
We also do crisis intervention, and we monitor ongoing cases of child abuse.
Okay. When you say, how is the unit structured? It's obviously a unit or department within the government. Which ministry?
It's the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, Department of Social Services, and then the Child Protection Unit falls within that department.
When was it established?
The Child Protection Unit has been around for many years. I could not tell you the exact date, but it has been around. I have been with the department for more than 30 years, and all the time that I've been here, we've always had a Child Protection Unit.
Okay, all right. Well, just straight out of nursery, huh? But let's talk a little bit about some of the cases that you would have encountered in the unit, some of the more concerning ones, particularly in recent times.
In recent times, we've had them all.
Okay.
Okay, we have physical abuse cases that come to us. Physical abuse, of course, is the excessive force of, excessive abuse. Sometimes when parents discipline the children, they use excessive means such as slapping, punching, biting, and all of that is abuse. Okay, emotional abuse and verbal abuse. You're talking down to the children, telling them they're stupid, they're dumb, they're not going to be anybody, that kinds of stuff. And withholding love, imagine that, withholding love from your children. That's abuse. Neglect, failure to provide food, shelter, clothing, medical assistance, even education. It's neglect when you refuse to send your children to school or don't allow them to go to school in a timely manner. That's abuse. Okay, of course we have sexual abuse cases and incest, and that's any form of sexual abuse. That's any form of sexual contact with children, whether it's anal, vaginal, inappropriate touching, exposure of children to pornography. All of that is forms of abuse.
Man, I mean, everything you spoke to just now, unfortunately seems to be a common practice and in some cases, prevalent within our community. How do you tackle all of these challenges? Because again, on any given day, any one of those things could be reported.
Right. Cases are referred to us from all different sources, okay? We have the medical professionals who report cases, the schools, the police, persons can walk in. We have places like the Crisis Center, non-government agencies. We have persons who just simply walk off the street. Okay, we have a 24-hour hotline. And of course, cases are referred to the hotline. The numbers are 422-2763 and 322-2763. Okay, once the cases are reported to us, then the social worker goes out and begin the investigations.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the social worker, him or herself. What is their role? It seems as though they are extremely busy, but what is the role of the social worker?
The social workers in the Child Protection Unit is responsible for, one, investigating all cases that are reported to the Child Protection Unit. Secondly, to ensure that children are in a safe, nurturing environment. And also to manage those cases and to ensure that family receive the necessary counseling. Of course, the child and the family receives the necessary counseling, and to refer to the relevant agencies. For instance, if the child needs to be seen by a doctor, if the matter needs to be reported to the police, if the child needs ongoing counseling, if the family needs any other type of the support. But our mandate is to ensure the safety and the well-being of the child.
So when the social worker shows up, they're showing up obviously with the authority and the mandate of government and by law.
Yes, by law.
Okay.
To protect the well-being. We are mandated to protect all children within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Okay. So April is Child Protection Month.
Yes, April is Child Protection Month, and we have a number of activities. This morning, you're going to see us on some of the major roundabouts giving out flyers, talking about the prevalence of child abuse in the country, some tips for persons to report child abuse if they encounter it. We have a number of activities, including a church service on the 11th of this month. We have Dr. Lukey going into the schools, and she's going to talk about the dangers of the internet and some of the things that children can get to online. We have a fun day for the children. We have a number of childcare facilities. And of course, we're going to bring those children together for one day, fun day when, you know, because some of the facilities houses older children versus others that house younger children. And so we try to bring siblings together and so that they can have some time, you know, to be with each other and stuff like that. We also have there are a number of other activities that I won't delve into this morning. But
is there a calendar somewhere or something?
Yes, we have a calendar of events, and of course we would be going out and speaking to students at various schools to talk about child abuse. We're going to be on a number of talk shows on radios talking throughout the month talking about child abuse.
Do you have a website?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Okay, well, listen, Shauna Lee, thank you so much for coming here on Bahamas at Sunrise. I think it's important once again to just mention the numbers that people can contact you for assistance.
Okay, the numbers again for the national hotlines are 322-2763 and 422-2763.
All right, listen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with Ms. Shauna Lee Lewis, Senior Welfare Officer of the Child Protection Unit in the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hey, what you doing, y'all?
So you are looking for the Maritime Festival?
I didn't tell May 11th.
Well then, so you're trying to tell me no Lady E, live music, good Bahamian food, and John gonna rush out all that in today?
Yes, sir, but I didn't tell May 11th. Hey, what you doing, sir?
I'm waiting here till the event. Thanks, bro.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's been all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back. In celebration of the 10th anniversary, one of the events Our Port Development is hosting is a maritime festival. This happens next month and will include learning, career opportunities, and fun for the whole family. Here's our Patura Burrows with more.
In celebration of its 10th anniversary, Arawak Port Development Limited will host the Bahamas' first ever Maritime Festival on Saturday, May 11th at the Nassau Container Port. Organizers recently held a press conference to share event details.
We're taking this opportunity on May 11th to celebrate our maritime space and to do it along with everyone, as many people that are interested, that would like to come out and participate, both from a career perspective, from an industry perspective, from an entertainment perspective, education. There's a lot going on that day. We're also looking to support 3 worthwhile charities. Those charities will be the LJM Maritime Academy. The second one will be the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Rangers Youth Program. And the third will be BREEF, which stands for Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation.
We're going to have plenty entertainment for you guys. I know persons like to dance, we like to sing, we like, rake and scrape, reggae, everything is going to be here. So Gerald Cash Primary School's Rake and Scrape Band will also be here. Yes. So that's a wonderful thing.
The winners of the music project as well, correct, which was Queens College this year, they'll be out here and they'll be showcasing their musical talents.
Jump Canoe. We're going to have jump performances that day, and we're also going to have Jump Canoe Rush Out. So we're going to have all types of Bahamian entertainment, all types of food, all types of drinks. I'm going to tell them a little more.
We're also going to have some live artistic performances. We're going to have Alan Pacino Wallace out here and Stephen Legends.
Definitely going to be a family event. Bring out the kids. Let them have some fun as well. Otherwise, you all eat and drink and dance. The kids will be in their corner getting their face painted and doing kids' activities.
We're going to have a helicopter landing, guys. Woo! So you kids who have never seen a helicopter up close, you parents who have never seen a helicopter up close, you have a treat in store for you, but you have to come out on May 11th in order to see it.
Another highlight I want to make, it will be a green festival. So the expectation is that we will be considering the environment, no styrofoam, no plastic, no single-use plastic, and we will be giving shout-outs to all the vendors who comply with this requirement.
Stakeholders, beneficiaries, and entertainers were also on hand to share their excitement about a festival that celebrates the magic of maritime.
We're very much looking forward to May 11th as a chance to celebrate our ocean and to celebrate conserving our ocean. We appreciate the support, thank you, and the opportunity to collaborate. And also, in light of the Bahamas' commitment to banning selected single-use plastics and styrofoam by 2020, we really appreciate the organizers' leadership to this regard and showcasing that it's possible to hold a fantastic celebration that's a lot of fun and educational for so many different people while protecting the environment at the same time.
I would like to, first of all, say a special thank you to APD for inviting LJM Maritime Academy and making us one of the beneficiary charities for this very exciting event. We're very excited to be a part of it. One of the things that we will be doing is at our booth, we will be showcasing the many, many facets of the maritime industry, which, of course, those that have to do with the sea, but so many others that have absolutely nothing to do with the sea that maybe a lot of Bahamians could possibly get involved in.
We'll be lending our full support towards this towards the activity, and we'll be doing this in the form of our band. Defense Force Band will be in full form, and we'll be putting on a spectacular display for you guys, so come prepared to move and just dance to the rhythm that our band produces. We also will be having a military vessel that will be on display, similar to what you see here in your background. This vessel will not only be on display, it'll be open to tours. So you can tour the vessel. The crew would be available to answer any questions that you have and any information in regards of the capabilities that the boat has without being able to give you all everything that will hamper our operations. Our commando squadron department will be putting on a military display. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that these guys, these are commandos, they normally do an excellent job. You're going to have some thunder flashes, some boom and bang.
With the Maritime Festival, we're going to be looking for people that are out, that are interested in our industry. And we're going to have, like Trevor said, his vessel, we're going to have our vessel alongside so people can really understand what it's all about. It's not just ships. It's about the ports. It's about using the heavy equipment. It's interchange. There's so many different facets to what we do.
And it's such an honor to be a part of this first ever event, Maritime Festival. What I could tell you is that we will bring you pure vibes, positivity, with our great Bahamian brand of reggae music.
So May 11, make sure you tell your cousin, your cousin's cousin, all the stakeholders, the shareholders, make sure that they're out here and come out and support this worthy event, Maritime Festival.
And you know what? Get on the dance floor. Let's have some fun. This party is jamming.
We just begun.
We'll have persons explain exactly what our duties are, our functions, some of our success. We will not discuss the speed of the boat. All we can say is the boat goes very fast.
Among items displayed on that day are our scanner unit, our marine unit, inclusive of a customs vessel, our K9 unit, personnel from both our training and human resource units that will answer questions regarding career opportunities.
I'm Patura Burrows for Bahamas at Sunrise.
In the past, I've had a lot of issues with service, data service, drop calls. I was encouraged by a very close friend of mine to make the switch, and in doing so, my service has been impeccable. The data is very fast, it doesn't spool, it doesn't take long to load, so everything works beautifully. I like to know what my bills are, and it's important that I'm able to simply just pick up my phone and know what my bill is. The front line for the Valley Boys is comprised of about 200 members. It's very important because to be a successful leader, I need to be able to efficiently and consistently communicate with them. It works that way. It's beautiful. The data that you guys provide is flawless. I'm John Williams, and I believe in best.
I'm Jennifer Basden, Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's Mission Control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday.
You got me smiling. I mean, all through the break, y'all, all she's been talking about is food.
Solids, to be specific, Phil, and talking and encouraging these guys to get creative with their foods that it can be healthy. We were talking, of course, with that Jay cookbook, which inspired the conversation.
I didn't realize. I mean, I should have.
Yeah, you really should have.
I didn't realize they had so many recipes in the book. I really should have known that.
Yeah, you really should have known that, you know. But that's good. 40 recipes, 40 different Bahamians, 40 years of JA. Congratulations to you guys for keeping it moving. It's really been an outstanding organization, and I'm a product of it. Wouldn't be who I am without it.
I am too, definitely. I mean, transformative at such an early age to be exposed to, you know, these different types of principles. And to me, the power of junior achievement, which is actually similar to what you're going to be talking about a little bit later with CCELD, is just the interaction and the exposure, not just with colleagues, students, but then also too with business people and the different companies and the different concepts. So JA is, 40 years. It's been an excellent program.
Yeah, and speaking of CCLD, one of the gentlemen in the group that I'm about to share with you guys on actually talked about his JA experience and being instrumental to him being there. So quite interesting, this connection. But looking forward to that conversation I'm going to have with two of the members that attended CCELD 2019 with me. Going to be a great conversation.
You guys are alumni now. Also, two IRCA's here. They've got a series of town hall meetings. They've been really progressive, and I like the message. I like the approach that IRCA's been taking, educating the public about all the things that they're doing, and of course the live weekend calendar. So we've got a lot more to come.
So we hope that you'll stay tuned. Before we get to any of that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Stan. Good morning, Bahamas. And yes, second look at weather at sunrise. We do have that old foreign boundary across the northwest Bahamas, and that's expected to fizzle out sometime during the next 24 hours. And over the southeastern islands, we have a trough, and both are triggering some cloudy periods and a couple of showers. So you can expect a couple of showers today and tomorrow in the northwest and southeastern islands. In your marine forecast, winds today east to southeast at 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over Northwest Bahamas. East at 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds become east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over Northwest Bahamas. 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, those winds continue east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over Northwest Bahamas. Easterly at 15 knots, 2 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 7:44 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 1:56 this afternoon. High gain this evening at 8:04. Sunset at 7:26 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 6:57. UV index 7. Your water temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, new moon. So going into the weekend, early next week. Pretty good weekend still weather-wise. Mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. A couple of showers possible. Temperature daytime will be in the mid-80s. At nighttime in the upper 60s to lower 70s. That puts you up on your phone. Look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. IRCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, is engaging public consultations and will continue to host town hall meetings in Nassau this week. Of course, they've been throughout the Family Islands last several months and back here at home.
Well, we've been doing some things.
Different
morning.
types of things. Good morning. and of course, we have Mavis Johnson, Colley, my good cousin, got to say it every time she comes on the show. She's the Corporate and Consumer Relations Manager at IRCA. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you, Phil. Yes, we are constantly engaging, but one of the mandates is to ensure that we engage on our annual plan.
Okay.
And so we are endeavoring to do just that over the course of the next few weeks. Next week, Wednesday, April 10th, we'll be at the College of the Bahamas Choices Dining Room for a second New Providence consultation on the plan. Okay. And then the 17th, we'll be in Abaco at the new Visions Hall, for a new Vision Mission Hall in Marsh Harbor for a consultation there. Now, we want to share with the public some key projects for 2019. Okay. One of the objectives, this is the way the public can gauge our performance. This is what they said they will do. Did they do it? How well did they do it? And then to get feedback, the budget is also a part of that plan. They can ask questions why are you doing this? Why is this amount of money allocated here? Why is not this sum allocated on this side? But we really want the public to come out and understand what it is we're trying to do for 2019. Assist us in making sure that we deliver, that there are some deliverables at the end of the day. And there's some very key projects.
I was about to say, what are some of the key deliverables?
Yes, we are focusing heavily this year on our public awareness campaign for the electricity and energy sector.
Efficiency, okay.
In particular, you will see rolling out very shortly a renewable, small-scale renewable generation project. And basically what that is all about is trying to promote and encourage consumers to incorporate renewables into their energy mix. It's a win-win situation for the consumers and also for the suppliers, particularly if they go to the extent where they tie into the grid and they begin to get funds back based on their generation and their, the level of their consumption. And so you'll see that campaign rolling out very shortly. We will also be rolling out an energy efficiency campaign. How do you conserve? There's some very simple and small things. We've heard about some of them. How do you conserve energy? How can you reduce your electricity bill without buying a new piece of equipment at this stage of the game? On the telecommunication side, particularly in broadcasting, we will be reviewing, or we are reviewing, almost completed, the consumer protection regulations. Now, this particular document, unlike the previous document that's out there, will cover both sectors. So currently we don't have a regulatory document that speaks to protection, consumer protection for the electricity sector. BPL did a plan last year that has not yet been finalized, but that is a plan for BPL. ERCA's plan will cover any provider in the electricity sector as well as in the telecommunications broadcasting sector, sorry, not broadcasting, but telecommunications sector. And so we hope to roll that out shortly. There'll be a huge amount of public relations and public awareness on that. And also for broadcasters, we are inviting intentional and consistent input as we review the code of practice for content regulation in broadcasting. And so...
And when you say broadcasting, I mean...
Radio,
television.
We currently have a code.
How does that apply to the internet? I mean,
ERCA does not regulate the internet.
Right,
right, but we certainly urge consumers to be mindful of their use of the internet. There are laws in the country that speak to certain things, and so we want to remind the general public that they ought to always be careful. We have been engaged in a safe surfing campaign for young children. So we've been going into the PTA's meetings and speaking with parents. That's been going very well, and sharing with them some safe surfing tips and how they can safeguard their children from dangerous content or harmful content on the internet. And so that has been, like I said, going very well. And we do invite members of the public and other schools, if you would like to have that presentation for your PTA, to please contact us. ERCA is also going to model the behavior that it wants others to follow. And so we are embarking this year on a ERCA Go Green project. You'll see some initiatives where we intentionally try to improve and to conserve energy. We've already started by changing out, for example, all of our light bulbs. And so we have...
soon you guys will all be in your electric vehicles, right?
Well, you know, I think the CEO does have some,
he's got a hybrid,
some
really
thoughts
nice hybrid,
on that. But we really are very serious about doing our part to execute the government's policy as it applies to energy.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, as it relates to energy, it might be a little bit off the topic, but what about water? I mean, ERCA also oversees the
We're not yet regulating water.
Because these days it seems that we need some water protection too. But anyway, okay, give the dates and times again.
So the Town Hall meeting for New Providence will be held at the Choices Dining Room at the University of the Bahamas on April 10th. That's next Wednesday at 6:30. Refreshments will be served. Okay. And then we go to Abaco, Mashaba, the following week, the 17th. And we will be there. That particular meeting will start at 6. And we invite persons to go to our website, and they can download the annual plan and have it in hand so that they will be a step ahead and be able to have their questions prepared when they come to the meeting. It's very important, Phil, that they come to the sessions, that they engage with us. That's one way that we can improve the services. If we don't know what's happening, you know, we were elsewhere the other day and heard that somebody has been having outages on a daily basis. Now, if you don't report that information to us so that we can take some steps to find out what is going on, whether what is happening is reasonable, the reasonableness of it is what we are concerned about, then we really can help.
Can help,
yeah.
Well, how can people reach you?
We can reach us, our contacts are, we are on Frederick Street in Frederick House. You can email us at info@urcabahamas.bs. We also have our website that is always updated. It's www.urcabahamas.bs, and we encourage persons to subscribe to the website, and that way they will get regular updates whenever there's new material uploaded. You can contact us at telephone 242-393-0234. And again, we encourage our family islanders to reach out to us, 242-300 URCA, or that's 242-300-8722. We are also on Facebook, 242 URCA Bahamas. We encourage, I cannot overemphasize the importance of encouraging consumers to reach out to us, members of the public, especially if you have complaints. Phil, I see time is running out, but I must put a plug in for our annual Girls in ICT Day, which comes up on the 25th. If for some reason your school has not told you about it, or if a principal is listening and has not heard or received the information, please reach out to us. Please reach out to us. You know, this is an annual event that our young ladies look forward to. And we have a wonderful program planned to expose your young ladies to the cutting edge of technology.
All right, let me see that. Right there.
Girls in ICT Day. Oh.
Since you've been preaching up in here this morning, we've been with my good cousin, Mavis Johnson, colleague, corporate and consumer relations manager here at URCA. It's your live weekend calendar.
Good morning, Sunrisers. This is your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. Enigma presents Midnight March Reloaded. More foam, more water, more powder. Friday, April 5th, Arawak Key. Doors open at 11 p.m. Showtime midnight. You Be Fit. Saturday, April 6th, University of the Bahamas, Oaksfield, 6 a.m. The 78th Annual Red Cross Fair. Live concert and entertainment. Featuring performances by Gino D, Dyson Knight, Ira Starr, and the Spank Band, Rhythm Band, and more. Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th, Clifford Park, 12 noon until. KO Productions, Smirnoff, Heineken, BTC presents Mardi Gras 3. Saturday, April 6th, Pompey Square, 7 p.m. until. St. John's College Parents Teacher Association presents a giant tea party honoring giant men and women. Sunday, April 7th, St. John's School Ground, 3 p.m. until. Dress code, hat and gloves. Under the patronage of Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Marguerite Pindling, Governor General of the Bahamas, the Bahamas National Youth Choir presents the 29th Annual Concert Season. Wednesday, April 10th to Saturday, April 13th, Winston V. Saunders Theater at the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts Complex, 8 p.m. nightly. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kalbury@tclbahamas.com. Alive. Believe in best.
Hey, what you doing, y'all?
So you are looking for the Maritime Festival?
I ain't telling me 11.
Well then, so you're trying to tell me no Lady E, live music, good Bahamian food, and John gonna rush out all that in today?
Yes, sir, but I ain't telling me 11. What you doing, sir?
I'm waiting here till the event. Thanks, bro.
WTO membership will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev. You and us together.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. We're back now, and I'm so excited to be with these amazing and phenomenal women that I'm going to introduce you to in just a second. As you might remember, I was away from you guys last week. I was in Jamaica at the Caribbean Canada Emerging Leaders Dialogue, an awesome opportunity for about 60 of us to get together from across the region and Canada to talk about sustainability and the blue and green economy, as well as leadership. Joining me to have a reflection on that conversation, so happy to welcome this morning Aslyn Blanc. Aslyn is an assistant in accounting, but she's also responsible for the blog Blanc Notes. And then I've got the queen bee of all CPAs and et cetera, soon-to-be real estate agent and more. And from the New Providence Development Company, the CFO, Kayvon Thurston, joins me as well. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas and Sunrise.
Thank you. Thank you
Another
so much
early morning. It's like being back in Jamaica.
Yeah. So we should have been used to this.
Yeah,
like,
you should be used to this by now.
Because it's only been a week.
You're still struggling, Kayvon.
Still struggling.
So talk to me about CCELD, Canadian Emerging Leaders Dialogue. Sounds like a conversation between people from Canada and the Caribbean, and obviously leaders in those sectors. What was the experience like overall? What is the program in a nutshell, Kayvon?
Well, overall, the program was an amazing experience for me. So basically, you're bringing together persons from the Caribbean and Canada, from different industries, whether it be large, small, private, government, and you're basically bringing us together to have that dialogue on certain topics. This year, it was leadership and sustainability, and it was just an amazing experience to hear from persons their take on what is leadership, what is sustainability, and to hear their values on certain matters.
And it was really interesting, as you mentioned, about sustainability, because we hear that word and we often think about, I guess, the green economy, right? So like, can we use solar panels to improve something? Can we recycle? And we think, okay, this means sustainable. But it for me, was an eye-opening experience about the connection between leadership and sustainability. Like, is a company sustainable? Is the work that we're putting in sustainable? And so that was interesting for me. What did you take out of it? What was like the biggest revelation for you going through that experience, Aslyn?
For me, the biggest revelation would definitely be awareness. Because I believe that as leaders, you must be aware of what it is that's happening around you, what it is that people are saying, what it is that's happening around the world. And if you're not paying attention to what other people are saying, if you're not listening, like listening was the biggest thing for me, because even though I was one of the quiet ones that sat back and just observed what is happening and waited until the perfect opportunity to say something, it's just, as a future leader or as an emerging leader, listening, how can you make an impact in the society if you're not listening to the people who have something to say? And so listening for me was the biggest thing that I got out of it. And even though I knew of its importance, actually going through it and experiencing it with so many different people, so many different backgrounds, that was really like mind-blowing and like, yeah.
Awesome. And Clay Saunders from the Ministry of Tourism, he couldn't be here today. Clay's actually traveling again, but Clay sent some notes for us as well, right?
Yes, he did. Let's just read it for everyone.
All right. Now, while you pull that up, Aslin, Kayvon, I want to kind of talk to you about what the experiences looked like, right? So on our first 2 days, we had professors come in from different universities, very interesting presentations on economics and whether or not markets are the best way for us to be creating policy and doing things. Great presentation on leadership, learning more about the country of Rwanda and what they're doing and how they're transforming their space through technology. Then we had a great presentation on the blue economy, right? And talking about the fact that we need to see our oceans as a resource, but also how are we taking care of them, how are we making sure that we have water for future generations. And then a really interesting presentation on the future in terms of robotics and that, and then we went into, you know, experiences, right? So we went into the mountains, we saw a farm in the mountains, we saw a ganja farm, medical marijuana. Medical. Yeah, and then we saw a robotics lab and so much more. But was there one particular experience that stood out to you in terms of what we saw and heard?
Well, for me, one thing that stood out, and I would go, I guess, to the first place that we had visited, which was the farm that was in, you know, in a family for years, for generations, 20 plus years. And the issue there was you had this one particular person that was really driving, you know, or trying to sustain the farm. So what's key is that succession plan. Okay. So that was what stood out from that particular experience. Like, what succession plan do we have for our organizations, whether it be small or large, and how are we going to be able to sustain it? Right. And one of the key things is that there has to be buy-in. Right. So for her, there was buy-in from the persons within her community for, you know, her company, and they saw the importance of it to their lives. So that resonated throughout many of the places that we visited, but that was the first one, and it really struck home because I saw that if she were not to continue, there was a question mark afterwards.
So if she didn't keep up, what would happen to all those jobs? What would happen to all those people because there's no succession planning? And I think when we look at our own country and bring it back to the Bahamas, and we consider the businesses that have started over the generations and how many of them have not continued over the generations, we have to ask ourselves as leaders, I'm building this, I'm creating this, but what happens after me? It's got to be a vision that's bigger than self, right? Aslin, for you, out of the experiences that we've had, out of the conversations that we had, was there one that just really stood out to you?
I'm all about the future, to be honest with you. I love technology. I'm not the biggest on it, but it's something that I know, you know, like my son. He's 7 now. This is something that we're going to have to deal with. Right. And literally everything that we do now, it's connected to technology. And so being able to actually see robots, you know, actually, it was a cell phone that they were making or something, to actually see it in action, like, oh my God, this exists here. In the Caribbean region, I had no idea that we had it here, and it's happening now. And they're teaching young individuals, and not just individuals who graduated from high school, but people who actually had a rough start, and they're in college now. They accepted them. They opened their doors and allowed them to come in and make a difference in their lives and the future. And so for me, that was really big, because a lot of times you find people who feel like, okay, the world have given up on me, but they haven't. They haven't given up on the young individuals, and that really stood out for me.
Yeah, and so I was talking about the Caribbean Maritime University, and there were robots there, literal robots that could walk around and do things. But also the university is invested millions of dollars in just teaching people, communities, at-risk youth, and of course their students on how to be quote unquote the new factory workers, which is really just controlling machines and knowing how those machines work. All right, before we go, I want you to get those words from Clay for us, since Clay couldn't join us this morning.
So Clay wanted us to mention, how much fun that he had on the blue team, even though our green team was the best. Hello. And not to mention how impactful, engaging, and enriching the experience was. I always had a pretty good idea of true leadership, but CCELD 2019 showed me that leadership is not about building a narcissistic cult of personality, but bringing out the best in others, staying humble and never losing touch with the most important individuals, the people who follow and make us succeed.
Awesome words from Clay. So unfortunate that he couldn't join us, but happy that he is continuing to do his work abroad as well. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us on Moms at Sunrise. If you want more on the Caribbean, Canadian Emerging Leaders Dialogue, you can obviously use our good friend Google. Get some more info on that, and I hope to continue to bring the conversation to you. More conversations on sustainability, more conversations on the future of automation and what that means for us and the skill sets we need to acquire, and of course making sure that we give back to our country in a way that is sustainable.
We have more Bahamas at Sunrise coming up right after this commercial break.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Star, those went to a weed farm.
Yeah, we did go to a weed farm, and quite frankly, we need to look at how we're going to get those weed farms here in the Bahamas. Disappointed that we're behind on this, Phil. We've been talking about it for a few years, and it could have been us.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
All right. Listen, you all have a good weekend. See you on Monday. Bye.